Welcome, guys. Are we live? We should be live. Welcome, guys, for the watch-along for the Chinese Grand Prix, the race. It's here, not long now, 8 minutes ticking away down to race start. But for the formation lap, Kimi Antonelli, the man on pole position, can he take his first win for Mercedes? That is the big question for him. And will this be the kickstart of his championship campaign? That'll be one each, Russell and Antonelli after race 2. And actually, if it's anybody else that's hoping to get into the fight for a championship, and if they can't take the win this weekend, it's probably Kimi Antonelli that you want. That'll take points off George Russell, who looks like the main man to take the championship fight, or to be the favourite effectively at this moment for the championship, because the Saudi Arabian and Bahrain Grand Prix have been confirmed cancel. I did say that yesterday. It was going to be confirmed today. It was early doors Sunday morning confirmed that both Grand Prix will be cancelled due to the ongoing war, which is a real shame. Just should be no war, but I don't control that side of life. So we won't see a Bahrain and Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. No Grand Prix in the month of April. That's a bit of a shame when the season just starts to get hotted up. So we'll have a big gap after the Japanese Grand Prix. And then I think it's the 2nd of May to Miami, where teams like Aston Martin will be super grateful for that sudden month of no racing where they won't lose ground to competitors, and it gives them time to catch up to the guys, or not even catch up, just get their car in a position where they might be able to pick up some points or finish races for a start and not qualify on the back of the grid. Cadillac also, I thought they would be closer to the back of the grid, if that's such a thing, but then they actually are. So they'll be actually quite glad for it. There's plenty of gremlins in that car. They seem to have stopped out on track most sessions. So it's a big 4 weeks for them. Also, Ferrari will be hoping they can fix the Macarena wing. The reason why it's not shown its face after FP1 was reliability reasons. And they'll be hoping that they can get on top of issues like that. Every team on the grid will somehow, despite being disappointed, not be disappointed, apart from Mercedes, because they knew that was probably 2 wins. And now they don't get them in the first 6 races. It means they lose 2 of the 8 races that they had before this new change in the way that they measure the temperatures on their engine, and the compression ratio saga finishes. Well, not finishes, but they clamp down on it effectively. Interestingly enough, next season they'll be back on. So it's just effectively this season it's allowed everybody else to catch up or fix the issues, or the way that they didn't misread the regulations, and to fix the issues. So we'll see how much of an impact that has on Mercedes, or how much it doesn't have an impact on the Mercedes, because really, if it's no impact, when we've seen it before in other areas where they've screamed that, this is the problem. They had the party mode issue in Mercedes back in 2014, 15. And when they got rid of them, didn't make any difference. So hold your breath on that one. Mercedes have all along said, look, you're looking at the wrong thing. So we'll soon find out as Formula One starts reeling through the drivers. F1, they can sync up. We'll do that formation lap. Lando Norris is in the garage. Might not make the start of the race. And Oscar Piastri just pushed off the grid and may not make the start of the race with an issue on his car also. What in the world has happened to McLaren? Oscar Piastri, another race where he might not even make the grid. And this time through no fault of his own. Not a crash. Oscar Piastri's just been pushed off the grid. Oh, penny for the thoughts of Oscar Piastri. That is a horrible one. Let's go through the grid. Alex Albon, last place. Ahead of him, Sergio Perez. Then we've got Lance Stroll, Bottas, Fernando Alonso, 18th. Carlos Sainz, 17th. I need to know what's happened to Alex Albon. Why is he starting last? 16th for Gabby Bortoleto. 15th for Arvid Lindblad. Gabby's in the garage as well. Lawson, 14th. Ocon, 13th. Franco Colapinto, 12th. Nico Hulkenberg, 11th. He was just outside the top 10, wasn't he, for his session. Ollie Berman, 10th place for him. Isaac Hadjar, 9th. Max Verstappen, 8th place. He's got Pierre Gasly up alongside him. That'd be an interesting battle. Then we should have had the two McLarens. We've got Norris, 6th in the garage. Oscar Piastri in the garage. Won't be taken to the start of the race now. Charles Leclerc, 4th. Lewis Hamilton, 3rd. George Russell, 2nd. And your youngest ever pole sitter, Kimi Antonelli, on pole position. And can he run off and take his first win from here? That will be special if he can pull off something like that. Defending champion in the garage. Both McLarens in the garage. And they're still sat in the car at the moment. Oh, that is such a kick for McLaren. Let's see what happens with the two McLarens. I wonder how they've had this issue because they've finished qualifying. Nothing's changed from the sprint to qualifying and this morning. And they've apparently the electronic gremlin, the battery is flat. Jeez. I was surprised how many battery issues there are with these. I mean, when you look at what they've tried to achieve with a battery and the level that they've gone from where they normally are to what they tried to achieve with this battery is, well, it's just new territory for a lot of the teams and big organizations, and they clearly can't get them right. So we've got two Mercedes, two Ferraris, and a huge gap. Clear run for Max Verstappen and Pierre Gasly. He'll be hoping, Max Verstappen, that he gets a much better start than he did at the sprint race, because he had a shocker, was basically at the back of the grid at the start of the sprint race. So he'll be hoping for less of that. It is now formation lap begins. Kimi Antonelli leading away to start his first Grand Prix. Slowly away, George Russell looking after his tyres almost by the looks of it. So we've got mediums for the top 5. Lando Norris is on hard. Pierre Gasly, mediums. Max Verstappen and Isaac Hadjar both going for the softs. They would only do 2 laps less, apparently, in possible strategies to the hards. Lap 18 stop for them and lap 20 stops for the mediums. That is a decision, isn't it? Will we get a 2-stop race? 2-stop races. I love 2-stop races. Then we've got... Let's just go for everyone. Antonelli, medium. Russell, medium. Hamilton for Leclerc, mediums. Piastri in the pits on a medium, if it makes any difference. Lando Norris on a hard in the pits. Pierre Gasly, mediums. Max Verstappen, Isaac Hadjar, softs. So 2 Red Bulls both going for a soft strategy. Interesting, they've not done a split on that one. Both believe probably that is the right way to go for them. Ollie Behrman, medium. And we've got Nico Hulkenberg, Franco Colapinto, Esteban Ocon on the hards. Liam Lawson on the mediums. Arvin Lindblad on the hards. Gabby Bortoletto in the pits on the hards. We've got 4 cars in the pits. We've only got 18 cars starting. We're starting to see the reliability gremlins kick in here, aren't we? We'll get to that in a minute, though. But yes, Bortoletto, if he does get going on the hards. Carlos Sainz, medium. Fernando Alonso, hards. Bottas, mediums. Stroll, hards. Perez, mediums. And Alex Albon from a pit lane start on the hards. Interesting. Cars looked absolutely bulletproof when it comes to testing. Did a huge number of laps. And then suddenly, second race, we've got 4 cars in the pit lane. This is a bit of a shame, really. I hate being robbed by... Gabriel Bortoletto is out of the race. He's not even got his helmet on. He's just got his headphones in. Oh, what a kicker. Lando Norris is still sat in the car on jacks. Will he get going? Apologies. Oh, we're going to get the last cars lining up on the grid. Nearly kicking off. Alex Albon out of the race. Oh, what a... Should have been part of this. That's 2 DNFs before we've even turned the wheel. We've only got 20 cars. Maybe we've not even got the mistake. McLaren's are not making their way. Pre-start blue lights. Long light. 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. Go! Decent start from George Russell. Antonelli is defending. Lewis Hamilton is going to go around the outside into turn 1 first, and so is Charles Leclerc. Going to follow him, is he? Antonelli's got the inside. Charles Leclerc will have the inside into turn 2, and it's a straight race between the two of them. Oh, Antonelli holds on for P2. Charles Leclerc third. Yellow flag hazard. It's gone defensive into turn 5. Has Kimi Antonelli. We've got at the back. Oh, Max Verstappen, bad start, down to 14th, lost 6 places on the start. George Russell drops back 2 places, so not another good start. They got away initially well, did the 2 Mercedes, but then it's that second phase of the start where the Ferrari is just absolutely bolt. Isaac Hadjar with a decent start up into 6th place. Oh, Behrman and Hadjar both run each other off track. That was a bit... Pierre Gasly, P5. Get in, lad. Oh, a big spin and oh, Ollie Behrman, Hadjar. Off they go. Touch. Will Behrman get an issue with that? We've got 2 racing. Oh, that was dangerous from Pierre Gasly. Ran one of them effectively off track. And the other one, he's almost charged the other guy off track. Flipping it. That was mental from Franco. Up into 6th place, Franco. Box for Isaac Hadjar. As he got some damage. It looks like he's carried on. What a scrap at the back. Carlos Sainz on the inside. On Fernando Alonso, the lone Williams left in this car. As Hadjar gutted, he was looking well. He's down P18. He has made it into the pits, actually. I lie. It looked like he was carried on, but it was Max Verstappen that's way down. P12 now, making his way back slowly. Oh, what a horrible start for the Red Bulls again. But as it stands, lap 2, or starts lap 2, Lewis Hamilton first place, Kimi Antonelli second, Charles Leclerc third, George Russell fourth, and then comes the two Alpines, Pierre Gasly P5, Franco Colapinto P6. Will we see a penalty for him though with his collision with Isaac Hadjar? I hope not, because it's a good start for him. Antonelli's looked like he's got a good exit, heading down into the back straight into turn 14. Oh, he's already breezed past him. Oh, it's a power pass. Antonelli's taking the lead. Can Hamilton find Oscar Piastri is out of the car? That's him out of the race. It's the last final corner where Antonelli needs to make it stick. And will we see a pass and repass now? Lewis Hamilton, he looks a little bit further back, doesn't he? George Russell made a comfortable move on Charles Leclerc as well. Oh, it looked easy, that. And normally we've seen pass and repass, but Hamilton get close going into turn 1 after Antonelli got him down into turn 14 on the back straight. He needs to stick with him now. That's the extra boost. He needs to stay within that 1 second gap. Max Verstappen making himself way up and made a couple more places up. He's back into top 10, P10 now, just 2 places down. But P5 for Pierre Gasly. Franco Colapinto, P6. Made up 6 places. A fantastic start from him, right behind his teammate. Perfect for him. Liam Lawson, P7. Made up 7 places as well. Ocon, 5 places up into P8. Arvin Lindblad with a brief solid start, up 6 places up to P9. The bad starters were really Max Verstappen. Carlos Sainz makes up 6 places as well. I mean, 3 or 4 of them actually are probably DNFs for him, isn't it? So we can sometimes look into a little bit too much of that. Down the back straight, Antonelli makes the gap. Who's got a second gap was Kimi Antonelli, and he's going to be out of that overtake boost mode. Antonelli is just said, I'm not having none of this mess. George Russell on Lewis Hamilton down the first straight, and he's breezed past the Ferraris. What's happened with Ferraris? They had a blistering start, but then they've just been breezed past down the straight. That is not what we've seen before. Almost a tad disappointing. It's just breezed past him. It's not. We've normally seen them be able to follow and get repassed, but they're just dropping the Ferraris. Is this what we were talking about when we see the two Mercedes fighting each other? Will we see the true power of that car? Because George Russell is going to hunt down Kimi Antonelli, and you don't want to give it 5 laps of scrapping with a Ferrari. That's interesting. Really interesting that Ferrari, no pace at the moment. They're not even close. Hamilton's still within half a second of George Russell, but there's a lock-up from George. Will that give Lewis Hamilton a run out of the final turn 16 and down to turn 1? That'll give Hamilton a sniff on it. The Mercedes power just... Wow, Hamilton did say he's going for a different tactic. I didn't think it'd be not fighting anybody, I've got to say. Max Verstappen running very wide down into turn 1. Thought he got a pass on Lindblad, but went super wide. Not mistakes we see from Max Verstappen, is it? Both Ferraris, the 2 Mercedes went both for the inside line, and the Ferraris have said, thank you very much. We'll go round the outside. Charles Leclerc just went a little bit too deep, didn't he? To turn one, and that gave Kimi Antonelli the opportunity back. Ferrari and Lewis's looked. I mean, I don't think it mattered, to be honest. The way that they've just breezed past the Ferraris, the two Mercedes. Are they on tyre save mode early because that's where they really struggled last time out? Oh, he got a little bit of a twitch, did Charles Leclerc, and that's why Antonelli just made it out. Esteban Ocon making a pass on Liam Lawson, gets himself up into 7th place. Another horrible start from Max Verstappen. After a decent qualifying, he is basically last at Sergio Perez, and he's got an Audi in front of him. The whole grid past him. Sergio Perez, he just whacks his own teammate. And Perez puts himself last. Oh, a shocker from Sergio there. That's your own teammate. Oh, that was a spin all on his own from Isaac Hadjar. Behrman, oh yeah, forces him out wide. Max Verstappen getting twitchy down into turn one, but I'd like to see the Isaac Hadjar replay again. That did not look pretty. He just dropped it. Well, at the moment, it's Mercedes 1, Mercedes 2, and not really a fight up at the top. Will we see the two Mercedes battle it out? That'll be where we get interesting. Or are they just tyre management? Is DEG an issue at this circuit, and what plan are they going for? There's a 3.5 second gap back from Ferrari to Alpine, and well, there is a huge gap actually between, not a huge gap, when it comes to racing, there is a huge gap between the two Ferraris, two Mercedes, and then everybody else as things stand. Verstappen with Lindblad making it hard for him. I do like his racing style, Arvid. It's on the hards as well. Max on the softs, and every lap Max suffers behind him. It's advantage Lindblad because Max is going to just chew his tyres up. Ocon up to P7. Honourable shout out to him. Made up 6 places. Obviously, like 4 of them is because 2 McLarens haven't started. I mean, obviously, it doesn't make a difference for him. About Bortoletto and Albon is ahead of them too, but this is interesting. I thought it would be closer with the two Ferraris and Mercedes, like we've seen in every other Grand Prix where they've battled it out lap after lap for the first 5 or 6 laps. With the Mercedes have the Ferraris, and then eventually, obviously, tyres let go, or Mercedes finally, sort themselves out and make the pass and then bridge that gap. But today, as it stands, the two Mercedes comfortably breezed past 2 Ferraris. There was not even a sniff of a repass down into turn 1 for Lewis Hamilton and Antonelli when he made the move. And there wasn't really a sniff of a repass when Charles Leclerc made the move on George. When George Russell made the move on Charles Leclerc. And there was no... Charles Leclerc wasn't close going down to turn 1 either for a repass, is what we've normally seen. Interesting issue. Was the graining and all that really bad on the Ferraris, where they thought, let's just nurse early doors and different strategy? I can't see it. I know they're very similar race pace, but they're not, as things stand. I mean, 37 low 37.4 for Antonelli, 37.3 for George Russell, a 38.2 for Lewis Hamilton. Not really. What you thought? Charles Leclerc, 37.9, and everybody else is 38.6, 38.8, 39s. And we've got the slowest of a 41.6 in Fernando Alonso. He's behind Valtteri Bottas. That's his race, isn't it? Valtteri Bottas leading class 3, I'd have to say, which is obviously the Aston Martins and the Williams. Well, actually, a lie. Carlos Sainz is leaving class 3, but I didn't really want to put the Williams in there. Oh, Lindblad with a move on Lawson, locked up. It's back through. But Lindblad all over the back of Lawson. That's a bit disappointing from Lawson, isn't it? He's on the mediums, a better tyre at this stage in the Grand Prix anyway, and he's got Lindblad on the hards all over the back of him. I could understand that in 6 laps time, where the hards then, come on. Lawson on the radio saying, guys, come on, don't let us lose time fighting each other. Lindblad gonna go for the overtake. Wasn't really fine. It was a lock-up. Yeah, loose Lindblad lock-up that's really caused that there. It wasn't really a fight from Liam Lawson. As we watch Oscar Piastri roaming around in the pad. That's why we don't want him. And we obviously not had any view of him, but he's not out chilling either in the car. He's 4 DNFs, 2 races. Oscar Piastri, no points. Didn't even get involved in the race. Lindblad, lap 10, makes a move on Liam Lawson. Ollie Berman with a move on Max Verstappen. Oh, he's got his immediate hard soft, hasn't he? Lawson told to box. As is Max Verstappen. Box. Lap 10. And we've got a Carlos Sainz pitting as well. Lap 13. Oh, slightly slower stop for Max Verstappen. I'll give a chance for Liam Lawson to get out ahead. Oh, Liam Lawson heavy on the gas, coming out of the pit lane. We've got a yellow flag on track, and that's a Aston Martin coming to a stop at the end of the straight down into turn 1. He's just gone straight. He looks like he's out. Come to a halt. Lap 10. That looks is done. That race. You don't stop there. Safety car. Lap 10. We've got to see the 2 Ferraris pit now. But I mean, Antonelli pits. Russell pits. Lewis Hamilton pits. Charles Leclerc will pit. There's a decent gap between Russell and Antonelli, where it means that double stacking, they won't lose each other very much time, really. Oh, Russell was very close to Hamilton coming out of the pits. We didn't get to watch that. Colapinto, Ocon, stay out. I mean, when you're seeing Max Verstappen and another guy pit on softs and mediums, they'd be gutted, won't they? 1 lap later, and they would have got a cheap pit stop. But as it happens, They haven't. But Colapinto and Ocon haven't made the most of that. I don't understand that call. I know they're on the hards, but just take fresh hards. You're not really going to lose anything, and everybody else around you now is going to be on fresher tyres. And yes, you've got track position for all of a few laps. It's a cheap pit stop. Ferrari made this mistake last time. Antonelli will be happy with that. He's got 2 guys between him and George Russell for the restart. Russell will have Hamilton. Lindblad is in between the 2 Ferraris. He's not pit also. Hulkenberg didn't pit. He's between Leclerc and Gasly. Berman pit. Fernando Alonso hasn't pit. Either has Sergio Perez. I don't understand Sergio Perez is not pitting. He's on the mediums. Get rid of him, lad. What are you going to do? 2 more laps? That's a Ferrari strategy, that. No, I don't know why everybody wouldn't just pit. Oh, really slow stop for Isaac Hadjar. It's not going well for him, is it, poor lad? Second race, and it's been a bit disappointing, actually. He's qualified well, put himself in a good position. Gone an incident with Colapinto, spun him round, and he's put him right to the back. And then there's another slow stop, and he's last. I mean, he won't be there very long. He will pass the Aston Martin, the Williams. With only Fernando Alonso up into 11th place. He's just going to enjoy that ride, saying, I got us up into 11th place because he's just Fernando Alonso. It's not pit. He hasn't pit. Neither is Franco. And neither is Ocon. Genuinely don't understand that. Lance Stroll, the tractor is out on track. So we probably 1 more lap as the cars just go past it. And if this is slowish, they've got about 3 minutes to get that tractor out of the way. They should be able to do that. Perez does pit. It was a no-brainer. He's out. Last. A slow stop. Rear right going slowly on. They clearly need to get up to scratch, don't they? These tyre changing teams. Perez looks like he's out ahead of Hadjar. Fair play to the lad. He's got 1 lap fresher hards over his guy, even though it's behind the safety car. Is this the strategy that's going to cost Franco after, it's going to go looking back like where he's just had a crap race, but he's probably not had a crap race. This is a strategy call now. And this should really be all on the head of Alpine if this goes wrong for him. He was right behind his teammate, picking up solid points. And I'm not sure this strategy, everyone pretty much around you, apart from, Arvin Lindblad as well. Why are you not pitting? Nick Hulkenberg not pit. But Gasly and Berman have, and Berman will pass Colo. Don't understand that. Alpine, obviously, is like he's just said, on the pit lane. They're just going to go for 1 stop. So everybody knows Colapinto's strategy. He's not going to be able to keep guys behind. Although I lie, we say that. The guys that pitted in the sprints And the guys that didn't weren't too bad. Come the end of the sprint race. Safety car in this lap. Yeah, lap 13. Made sense. They had 2 or 3 minutes to get that car cleared. Oh, right behind him. Slowish stop for Charles Leclerc, but didn't really need to rush. Make sure it was on properly. Verstappen told the target is to get to the end. As they just showed, Lando Norris chilling, roaming around the paddock. Ooh, will we see this just now plan out? Will Colapinto's and Ocon's plan work if everybody does actually just think, let's just make this work? Can we see Franco Colapinto go for the lead down into turn 1? That would be something, wouldn't it? I mean, it's not going to happen, but it could. That would be something. Lewis Hamilton needs to keep George Russell. Antonelli hasn't bolted. He has now bolted. Cock on. Lewis Hamilton. Oh, big slide coming out that final turn from Shaw. Lewis Hamilton. Good battle. Colapinto on Ocon. Could their battle help Lewis Hamilton get past George Russell? Russell going wide into turn 2. Hamilton tucks right under his rear wing. Ocon all over. Charles Leclerc. Oh! Russell nearly just took out Ocon. Lock up, and Lewis Hamilton gets past George Russell. Can he keep him back now? That'll be the key question there. He could have really, really needed Charles Leclerc to be right there, but Charles Leclerc bottled up behind Arvin Lindblad. Lindblad defending really, really well. He just sat and watched, didn't he, Lewis Hamilton, and said, you're going to make this mistake, George Russell. Antonelli, obviously, off he goes. Up front. Lewis Hamilton is going to make the move. Yeah, he's right over the back of Esteban Ocon, and he's going to just breeze down past him back straight. Oh, it's not. He's not. Well, he's doing. Yeah, he's going to do it under braking. Lewis Hamilton gets past Esteban Ocon. George Russell looked like he's taking his time getting these tyres up to temperature. Charles Leclerc is all over the back of George Russell. Oh, we've not seen that one. Charles Leclerc is past George Russell. Just seen him in the background. They didn't even show the pass. Why would you not show the pass? George Russell loses 2 places to the 2 Ferraris. Is that them just trying to get their battery back up to speed? Lewis Hamilton all over the back of Franco Colapinto. Now, he didn't really get the move down into turn 1, did he? After passing Ocon. Oh, nice move. Got no grip, says George Russell. Hamilton passes Colapinto in a nice move as he hunts on to Kimi Antonelli. This is the moment now, isn't it, really? Ferrari, if they're going to do anything, is this a different strategy? He needs to get within that 1 second gap of Kimi Antonelli, does Lewis Hamilton. Is it a matter of them getting their tyres and battery up to temperature, the Mercedes? And they've got to make hay where it happens. Charles Leclerc passes Ocon. Oh, but Lindblad and Ollie Behrman. Lindblad, that was hairy. Keeps in position. Ahead of Behrman. Lewis Hamilton within the active aero of Charles Leclerc trying to get around the outside. And Colapinto is very aggressive. Franco Colapinto, he's one you'd lose your front wing against. Out of the turn 2, 3. Much better grip. Charles Leclerc up into P3. He's lost 2 seconds to his teammate. George Russell makes the move on Ocon finally. George Russell taking his time. Just no grip, apparently. I think it's just a matter of getting his tyres back up to scratch. Verstappen, P11. Antonelli. Lewis Hamilton, he's still within the overtake boost mode. Oh, it's closing a little bit down that back straight. George Russell making a move on Colapinto. Easy done there. Behrman makes a move on Lindblad. In behind him, Gasly makes the move on an Audi. Hulkenberg. Gasly's done poorly out of this, hasn't he? He's down in P9. I know I am forgetting that there were 1, 2, 3 cars didn't pit, but one's his teammates. So he's really only lost position to Behrman. Oh, and Ollie. Ollie will close up to the back of his teammate, and his teammate will just let him pass because they're not even in the same race, are they? Fresher tyres for Ollie Behrman. Lewis Hamilton kind of really needs to stick with Kimi Antonelli through this sort of second sector. And they weren't miles away in that second sector, especially when it comes to pace in qualifying. And then it's the power in the straights where they're just losing a 10th or 2. And it's that when you get down into that, where you can use the overtake boost mode. Straight mode. We've got the SM mode. George Russell 2/10 slower than Charles Leclerc last time round. Antonelli 3/10 faster than Lewis Hamilton. 1/10 faster this time round. Fastest lap of the race for George Russell. He's back in his zone, isn't he? Yellow flag, double yellow flag on track. Who has done something? Verstappen on Lindblad makes a move down into turn 1. Lindblad didn't really make that too difficult, actually. Perez Alonso last as things stand. $18 laps done. Antonelli, Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc, George Russell, Franco Colapinto, 5th. He hasn't pitted yet. Ocon, 6th, hasn't pitted yet. Ollie Behrman, 7th, has pitted. Gasly, 8th, has pitted. Max Verstappen, up into P9, has pit. Lindblad, P10, hasn't pit. Hulkenberg, 11th, hasn't pit. Lawson, 8th, laps on his tyres, did pit. 12th. Sainz, 13th, has pit. Hadjar, Bottas, Perez, Alonso Hadjar made up a few places. It's Gasly makes a move on Ollie Behrman, as actually the Ocon makes a pass on Franco Colapinto. Alpine Behrman couldn't get the move down on Pierre Gasly into turn 1. Nice move from Ocon and Colapinto. Well, he's back past him, Franco. Verstappen has taken Pierre Gasly. Verstappen is fast on these mediums. Gasly repasses Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen all over the back of Pierre Gasly. Well, we see it down into turn 14. There you go. We've got a race of 4. Colapinto heads it. Ocon, then Behrman, then Gasly, then... Oh, Behrman getting Ocon. Makes sense. What the... Oh, Colapinto looking to defend against Ocon. This is going to get scruffy, isn't it? With Gasly holds on to Max Verstappen. Behrman's ahead of Ocon, and he's now got to all over the back of... Oh, it's scruffy, that, isn't it? Gasly getting onto the back of the Haas team. That was a bit of a late dart, almost. Verstappen on the inside running. Gasly all the way out. Verstappen gets past Pierre Gasly into turn 1. What? Proper racing, that. Whoever says it isn't, that is proper racing. Tough, hard racing with the with the Alpine and the Haas bringing the drama to the Grand Prix. Antonelli 1.3 now. He's not ramping away from the Ferrari as we saw at the early parts of the race. Have they saved something, the Ferraris, for the second part of the race? We thought you would have seen it after the safety car, because that's when they're going to set into the rhythms after that, aren't they? Charles Leclerc +3 to Lewis Hamilton. He needs to close on Lewis Hamilton. George Russell closing. Will it be a late dart down into turn 14 on Charles Leclerc? Nope. It's just almost like a writings on the wall, isn't it, when you see the Mercedes coming up on them. There we go, back to the scrap. Colapinto defending from Behrman. Behrman going with the undercut and just hoping for fresh drive. Colapinto holds on the inside. He's going to be a compromise on the exit. Should be a sitting duck, Behrman, on Colapinto, but defends so well, Colapinto. It's like he's learnt from the master of defence, Sergio Perez. The Argentine stays ahead of Ollie Behrman as well. He did it down into... I thought it would be a sitting duck the way he took that final. I thought he'd be compromised, and it'd be easy for him there. Max Verstappen passes Ocon up to 7th place now. Max much happier on these hard tyres. I mean, Ocon was on 20-lap old hards and Max on fresher hards, so he should kind of expect that move. Behrman, Lindblad, no investigation, no issues, so they'll both be penalty-free. Come on, Lewis, get on the back of Kimi Antonelli. That is what we want to see at the front. He's not letting him get away. Russell trying again down into turn 14. No, Charles Leclerc holds on there. That was a bit dodgy on the brakes from Charles Leclerc, a little bit snaky. Oh, Leclerc has got more battery though than George Russell. Apparently, 0 battery for Russell, 9% for Charles Leclerc. He held it. Did Charles Leclerc 4 down into turn 1. According to that graphic, the Mercedes recovered faster than the Ferraris. I mean, I'm not sure how they know that, but 10th and a half now the gap. Trading similar lap time, 36.9s, Antonelli and Lewis Hamilton. Leclerc and Russell both catching the two up front, actually. About only 2/10 though, 36.7. Moving under braking. Running off the road, you didn't go off the road. Did he hit him? Did Max hit Pierre Gasly? Hard but fair, in my opinion. That's it. We've ruled. No issues there, Pierre. Verstappen up to P6. We didn't see his pass on the Master Defender Colapinto. But Max Verstappen moves up into P6 ahead of Franco Colapinto. Ollie Berman holding on well. He is holding on well. He's got the fresher tyres. I'm talking about the wrong Haas here. But another good race for Ollie Berman, P5. Can he hold off Max Verstappen? His last lap was 3/10 faster than Max, but I think Max was obviously passing people, so we'll see how that pans out. Charles Leclerc still holding. No further investigation. Gasly and Verstappen. Yeah, the right call. I told you. Nothing in that. Just hope, really. That's all it was in that for Gasly. Russell is not really in the. Charles Leclerc closing slowly on Lewis Hamilton. Antonelli getting away now, plus 2 seconds. Very, very solid drive from Kimi Antonelli. Obviously, didn't get away fantastically well from the start, but it wasn't a crap start either that we've seen from him before. Oh, Lewis Hamilton coming under pressure from his teammate. Lap 23. Will they work together? Because they kind of almost need to, don't they, to help each other to keep George Russell back with giving each other the boost and active aero. Just don't lose time to let and burn tyres to let Antonelli disappear. If they can finish in this order, the 2 Ferraris beating the Mercedes, even 1 Ferrari beating a Mercedes, just gives you a bit of hope. Norris say the PU issue. No solution. Disappointing. First non-start for Lando Norris in F1. That's harsh. I mean, 2 McLarens to just basically they just got the issues on the grid, and Norris in the pit. They knew about an hour before on Norris's side. He's just getting warm into right up go drive, and then obviously told there's an engine issue too late at that day to change an engine in an hour. It's not Lego, and Oscar Piastri had the issue on the grid. They pushed him off the grid as formation lap got underway. Charles Leclerc on Lewis Hamilton, turn 14. George Russell looking for a sniff. Was that a swap of position? Lewis and trying to fight back. Oh, they ran each other as... That's not... That was hard racing. Turn 6, Russell looking around the outside. Hamilton's got the inside line. You're not going to make it around the outside. He's going to try that cut back. Not making that. Lewis Hamilton is going to be back onto Charles Leclerc. Lewis Hamilton, he needs to get back on it. The two Ferraris not really working together, are they? Like they said they might. Charles Leclerc makes a pass on Lewis Hamilton. Will we see them? Lewis Hamilton with the boost now, won't he? We will see Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc fight down to turn 1 on lap 25 again. They exit the final corner. Bit of a snaky exit from Charles Leclerc. He's obviously pressing it. Lewis Hamilton, active DRS, is not going to close enough on him. George Russell looking for a sniff on the inside. That's not going to happen. Tighter line from Lewis Hamilton down into turn 1, and he's closed a little bit, hasn't he? He's now within 2 or 3 tenths of Charles Leclerc. It's going to be close, isn't it? George Russell now, he's got to battle the two Ferraris. The two Ferraris almost need to work like this, but not lose time, if that makes sense. You can fight or pass and repass, but do it wisely where you're not losing time to George Russell and just avoid lockups. But we know Ferrari, they just let them race hard, and that's why we love them. But Charles Leclerc has got the better of Lewis Hamilton on the second set of tyres. It's just because he just bought them in a little bit easier. Did Lewis try a little bit too hard on trying to get to within the overtake zone of Kimi Antonelli, and did he use too much tyre at that point? Down the back straight they go again. Lewis Hamilton, active DRS open. Oh, he's going to be out with the inside. Move on the inside down into turn 14. Lewis Hamilton retakes back that second place. If you're going to do it there, but don't lose time now, both of you Ferrari guys. Work together to beat George Russell. Charles Leclerc's all over the back of Lewis Hamilton. He's going for a move around the outside. He'll make that stick. Charles Leclerc does make it stick. Lewis Hamilton is still there on the inside with a wheel. Don't hit your teammate. He didn't. It's very, very close. Charles Leclerc back into P2. Great fight with the two Ferraris. If you're going to do it that way. They didn't look like they lost time to George Russell. Oh, he's going for a sneak attack. No, he doesn't. Leclerc covers it off. Oh, he's gone for a weird move at the inside. What's he done there? Don't hit each other, guys. He's going around the outside again and getting the inside of it. Charles Leclerc gets a run again on the out. This is great racing, I've got to tell you that. George Russell now looking for a sniff on the Ferrari. Hamilton blocks him off. Where yard you, mate? Oh, there's a run down the back straight now with Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton. The Ferrari's bringing the action, and they always love to do. Give you a bloody heart attack. I mean, they're losing out to George Russell now. Oh, just easy breezes past Lewis Hamilton on the George Russell passes Lewis Hamilton. Well, did Lewis Hamilton use up too much battery fighting his teammate, and he's lost out to... You were meant to work together, guys. You went to use your... He's not got the battery, has he? It's almost like he's used too much. We've got a yellow flag somewhere, double yellow flag. Don't know who's done what. George Russell passed Lewis Hamilton, and is someone spin? Lindblad with a spin. He's parked with the track. Turn 14. Oh, he was looking like he was going to finish like right there with Lawson, and his dropped down to 14. That's a scruppy one, that. Oh, Arvid, lad. Not the best race, is it? It's a bit scruffy. Down into turn 14. Brake. Lock up. Oh, he just lost the rear. Looks like it just lit the tyres up. Lewis Hamilton can't stay with George Russell. He's just got to hope that the battle with Russell and Leclerc is tasty and gives him back a sniff. Is this a Russell coming on the inside, defending on the inside? George Russell trying to go for the outside. You're not going to get it there, and you're not going to get it. Well, good line from Charles Leclerc there. Out of that turn 14 to turn 16 final core, and Russell, has he got enough gap? Russell got no battery, neither has Charles Leclerc, to be fair, by the looks of it. They'll use that down into turn 14. Battery battle equaled out. You can tell now they're getting on top of understanding how to race with this. And if you use too much and not in the right way, you become a bit of sitting duck, like Lewis Hamilton learned with George Russell just there. That was a wrong battery. You're playing chess. They're fast in all the right places, says George Russell. Well, if you're Kimi Antonelli, they're not fast at all in the right places. It's half a second faster than them. A 7-second gap. This is perfect for Kimi Antonelli, and he can just cruise home for his first win in Mercedes. He's got 27 laps to hold on. Just pray for no issues now until the end of the race, and he's got this in the bag. Will he need to pit? Will he not? I'm feeling a bit nippy, so apologies for the fan. Ollie Bertman, shout out. P5, holding on really, really well from Max Verstappen. George Russell on the move into turn 14. Charles Leclerc now needs to stick with him. Mercedes back 1 and 2. Will we see it? Oh, not the. Oh, pushed hard there, didn't he, George Russell? Is that. Couldn't get close enough to turn George Russell in turn 1. Is that what we've seen? Nice little drone there in the image. Charles Leclerc still within half a second of George Russell, which is promising. Did George use too much battery to try and get that pass, and now it's Charles Leclerc's chance to close, or is that just a pass on power? Just a little bit down, aren't they, Ferrari, on the power? Otherwise, I think it'd be a very, very tough fight with the Mercedes and the Ferrari come race day. I mean, that 3/10 is showing now, isn't it? It's just that little bit more where they've just got a tiny bit more. And Lewis Hamilton will be with a dice between him and his teammate. Lewis was within a second of Charles Leclerc now. Russell just pumps in a 36-1. Unbelievable, Jeff. Lewis Hamilton not closing enough on Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc closing. He's got within half a second. A bit of a slide. Poor exit out of turn 14, but he was looking good, wasn't he? He's lost about 2/10. Lewis Hamilton is always there waiting for a sniff. Lewis Hamilton getting closer and closer to Charles Leclerc. He needs to... "24 laps more to go. Will they pit again? That is the question. Everybody's on hards. Do you take a cheeky gamble? Go for a soft. If there's a safety car, you definitely do it. Probably not a soft, a medium. Get carried away with myself. These have done 20 laps on a hard. So if you're going to do it, you're not going to do it yet. Probably in about 6 laps time. And then have you got enough in your tyres? If you are not Ollie Berman, because you've got Max Verstappen right behind you, and you're going to lose places. If you are... I don't know who you are. If you are, want to take a risk, Frank Uncle. So top 10 rundown. Antonelli leads. George Russell second. Charles Leclerc third. Lewis Hamilton fourth, right behind Charles Leclerc, still within that 1 second gap. We've got Ollie Berman fifth. Max Verstappen sixth. He's got up there but can't make way or make hay on the Haas of Ollie Berman. Who'd have ever thought you'd say that? Red Bull can't close up on a Haas. Pierre Gasly, P7, P8 for Nico Hulkenberg. He's not pit. He's got them 10-lap older mediums, hards. Lawson, P9, Hadjar, P10, Sainz, P11. Colapinto was right behind Pierre Gasly. He's just gone in the pits. He was P8. He's now going to come out. Will he come out? Lindblad is up P12 now. He's gone on the mediums. 13th. He's come out just ahead of Esteban Ocon in 14th. We've got a yellow flag, double way out, sector 3. And we've got an incident. Ocon. Is that an incident with someone? We got another safety car. Pierre Gasly. What's happened here? Colapinto come out. Ocon coming from a long way back. Oh, he's... Colapinto didn't see. He's just come out of the pits. Franco. Ocon went for the... Oh, he had fresh... Oh, Ocon lost it as well. Ocon lost the rear. I was giving it to all blame to Ocon there, but he's dropped his rear and he's closed the door. I mean, maybe that's why he's tried to back out too late. Colapinto closed the door. It's that tricky turn 1. It tightens. He's completely missed it. Gutted. Apologies for this super horrible cough. Ocon said, yeah, that was my fault. Penalty incoming for Esteban Ocon. He was going well in the Haas. The Haas is running well. Ollie Berman's up in the P5, comfortable there as well. He's doing same lap times as Max Verstappen, within a tenth. Lewis Hamilton, lap 35, still within under the second, 8/10 behind Charles Leclerc. Lewis Hamilton looking for his first podium in Ferrari, and he needs to beat Charles Leclerc. Can he do it? I hope so. I would like to see Lewis Hamilton finally get on the podium, and if he does it here in China, a track he loves. That's why they were fighting so hard, weren't they? It was a podium fight between Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton. Racing is settled down now. We're going back to 2025 mode. Antonelli, great start for him. Lewis Hamilton saying got no power, and they're saying they're going to look into it. Oh, lockup from Charles Leclerc run wide. And Lewis Hamilton takes the position. Charles Leclerc defends. Lewis Hamilton defends well from Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc mistake lets Lewis Hamilton through for the podium. Lewis Hamilton complaining he's got no battery power. And it seems like he's got the same power as Charles Leclerc, because if he didn't have any issue, or he had an issue with his power, he would have not had it. And Charles Leclerc would have been right past him, but he's clearly got some sort of battery or some sort of engine power, because it came back to the forefront. Lewis Hamilton is on a podium position. He's got his teammate who's going to do everything he wants and can to try and defend against that. Charles Leclerc is the one now that could go for this strategy of, do you pit for a medium and give it 20 laps of hell to the end? He's got 18 seconds on Behrman, and if he comes out on fresher tyres, he'll make the move. Charles Leclerc, going look like he's going to go for a dive in. He blocks up again almost of his teammate Lewis Hamilton. Struggling to slow down that Ferrari is Charles Leclerc at the moment. Charles Leclerc dropping back on Lewis Hamilton, but he's there within that where Lewis was sat. Ten-second penalty, Esteban Ocon. Yes, it was coming with his incident with Franco Colapinto. He put his hands up straight away, to be fair to him. He's going to put him down last if he pits. He won't now, though. He's had his pit stop. He's under mediums. And well, they'll see what Colapinto does up against everybody else ahead of him, because he's the one that's gone for the mediums. I mean, it cost him because he got knocked by Ocon, and that would have, killed and destroyed tyres as they spin and do what they want to do. But they'll be looking at Colapinto to see how this strategy might work if you're one of the Ferraris. Colapinto is about a second faster, 1.7, nearly 2 seconds faster than Lawson. And he's got 24 seconds to make up to get to P8, Liam Lawson. $34 to get on Pierre Gasly. He's got 18 laps. And if you can do a second half a lap, do the maths, you will get to Liam Lawson. Could get to Gasly. So, Franco, this is your moment to shine, mate. After that incident with Ocon. Charles Leclerc closing on Lewis Hamilton within half a second. Kimi Antonelli cruising out front, but at the moment, the last lap, George Russell took half a second of him, but then Antonelli stepped it up. Down onto turn 14, Charles Leclerc closing, and Lewis, no, they're not going to do it from this time round. It's a crazy move, dive on his teammate, and I don't think you're going to do that on your teammate. Is he setting him up into turn 1? Hats off to Carlos Sainz to getting himself in P10, but Franco Colapinto will make sure he doesn't get that. Despite he doesn't crash into anybody. Arvin Lindblad currently just sat outside of the points, but he's on super old hards. 37 lap old hards. He's the one that didn't pit and he's still running. I'm surprised they've not gone for the Colapinto strategy of getting the mediums on. Well, it's like pit now to retire. Couldn't retire because no feeling in his hands. Oh, that's a bit of a stat for Lewis Hamilton. That'll give George Russell a sniff to go down the back straight. T14. Leclerc is closing. He's within half a second. This is dive bomb territory. He's gone for the move. Turn 14. Charles Leclerc goes past Lewis Hamilton. Turn 16. Can Lewis Hamilton now just get the boost and repass on Charles Leclerc? Lewis Hamilton is closing. He went for the inside line. Oh, he's worked. Charles Leclerc going a little bit wide. He's going to get wider and wider and lose grip. Lewis Hamilton gets Charles Leclerc back. Great racing with these two Ferrari guys. And that's what I've really liked about the way the two Ferraris, they've always done it. Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz, really tight wheel to wheel, but they keep it clean. Crossover. Lewis Hamilton just keeping it ahead. It's going to be the next few turns. This is tight, isn't it? Really good battling and racing with the two Ferraris. Lewis Hamilton holding on. Charles Leclerc is not going to make it easy, and he's not going to just be, yeah, you can have a podium, mate, teammate. They know it's a battle. Great racing. Lewis has a little bit more, 4% more or a bit more than down the back straight again, down into turn 14. Lewis looks like he's got a little bit more. Lewis Hamilton looks like he's got a little bit more of a gap. No pressure this time round in turn 14. And Leclerc dropped back 0.8 again. He sort of saved himself up for that one mad attack, didn't he, Charles Leclerc? And it didn't quite come off for him. Antonelli, George Russell's closing on Kimi Antonelli, now gap down to 6.3. Half a second that lap George Russell took out of Kimi Antonelli. Let's keep an eye on that. The sectors this lap look pretty similar, to be fair to them both. Charles Leclerc 7/10 behind Lewis Hamilton now. Getting close. Sticking with it. This is the big one. 14, 15 laps to go. And it's a podium fight really here with the two Ferrari boys. George Russell, what can he do to make a 5? Charles saying it's a fun battle. Is that saying don't call it off, guys? Lindblad's still not pit. Credit to Ollie Berman. Shout out to him. P5 in the Haas, holding off a Red Bull. Apologies for the fan. It's cold out here. Pierre Gasly, P7. Hamilton saying keep the gap if you can, doing a good job. 1.7. Charles Leclerc drops back off Lewis Hamilton. That's a bit of a bigger gap than we've seen for a little while, isn't it? Is that Charles Leclerc just prepping himself for a final charge at the end? Or did he just take too much out of him to do that one bit? It's what we do see, though, isn't it? If you really attack, you're going to take the pain in a couple of laps. So you've got to make it stick once you do it. Clearly, it's something that we've seen with a few of the cars now. If you can attack, but you're going to pay the price within a couple of laps. Antonelli complaining about the traffic. Russell had the same issue and he's lost a second. He's now 7.4 back is the gap to Kimi Antonelli. Perfect that for Antonelli. He's got stuck behind Audi at the moment, who's fighting Ocon. Hulkenberg and Ocon. He wants blue flags, doesn't he? That's another blue flag. Hulkenberg. Lets him pass. Pit, long straight ahead now. 1.7 kilometers. Well, 1.2 or something. Oh, the Mercedes on the Ferrari. Lap 44, Arvin Lindblad pits. He's left it late. 12 laps they've given him on fresher tyres. It's just go for absolute everything now, isn't it? He comes out ahead of Sergio Perez. Will he hold on to that position? He's obviously got to get these tyres up to temperature, and Perez has got tyres in the zone. Nice move. Hulkenberg gets Ocon. I mean, Ocon's got a 10-second penalty on his shoulders anyway, so he was going to pass him sooner or later, but it gives him an opportunity to close up on guys ahead. Colapinto now 6 seconds behind a point. He's not quite there. He's only half a second or so faster than Carlos Sainz, and he's doing very similar lap times to Hadjar and Liam Lawson now. And he's on much fresher mediums. Has he chewed them already? The lap time isn't really there, just a couple of tenths in it. I thought at one point it was a second faster than them guys. Unless he's not sure what the friction is with Franco Colapinto, it shows that it's not worth the pit and attack, is it? It's taking too long and you're not consistently seconds faster than the guys ahead, lap after lap, where you'll catch up and, you know, make up that pit stop. So not really worth the pits for a fresh boots to try and do something if you're, I don't know, Charles Leclerc looks like the only one, but Ollie Berman's keeping him honest. There's not a pit stop gap between Leclerc and Ollie Berman. Let's see how this one pans out. It is really Kimi Antonelli's race for the win. He's got 11 laps just to hold off. Nothing silly from him. And he takes the win. He's comfortably got George Russell in his pocket. He's got the fastest lap of the race as well. Last time out, 35.3. And then we've got Lewis Hamilton, who is now 2.3 seconds ahead of Charles Leclerc. So that's a bit of a gap building from Lewis and Charles. That's the first time we've seen it that big in a few laps. Charles, did he just take too much out of him when he went for that big attack on Lewis Hamilton? Have they lost time to a back marker somewhere? He has, hasn't he? Oh, he's lost a lot of time to a back marker of a Cadillac. Oh, that did screw Charles. That explains the gap. Nearly 3 seconds. Yeah, that is not what Charles Leclerc needed. And it's exactly what Lewis Hamilton needed. Give himself a bit of a breather. Max Verstappen looks like he's going slow. Oh, retire the car. Max Verstappen, he was P7. When he get back? He's got some power by the looks of it. He's not. This could be the safety car that someone's looking for to just. It looks like he's going to make it back. I'm sure Max Verstappen will just park it somewhere sensible if he wouldn't try and get back to the pits if he knew he couldn't. He's not that kind of guy. Yeah. A mechanical issue for Max Verstappen. Liam Lawson up into P7 now. Colapinto is in the points, but obviously Carlos Sainz might get a point for Williams. He's got to just keep Nico Hulkenberg back. It's where his battle will be. He's got 10 laps to keep Franco Colapinto back, who's making about 7-8 tenths on him. He's got a 3-4 second gap. Let's see what Max Verstappen going into the corner. And suddenly lost everything coming out of it. And he lost everything. Some sort of electrical issue. Everything just went blank on his car. Did Max Verstappen. He's made it back to the pits, so will be no safety car for him. Kimi Antonelli will breathe a sigh of relief. His gap is now 8.6 seconds. Russell struggling with the back markers. Another fastest lap of the race. He was 1.2 faster than George Russell that time around. He's showing what he's made of, his Kimi Antonelli, with romping home for his first win. And Charles Leclerc 3.1 now behind Lewis Hamilton. Did he look? Clearly, he's looked like he's taken too much. This doesn't look like let's recuperate and go attack again on Lewis Hamilton, because it's giving Lewis a big enough breather. 15 cars remaining, 7 DNFs. It's been hard on the cars, hasn't it? The Chinese Grand Prix, we've seen 4 cars didn't even make the start. Alex Albon, Gabby Bortoletto, the 2 McLarens, before we even turned the wheel. Then we've got the 2 Aston Martins out. Fernando Alonso went for as long as he could. And that's a harsh question. Oscar Piastri, you got further than you did last time. What, you made it to the grid? That is brutal. Questioning. Yeah, I'm sure you don't need a reminder of that, love. Oscar Piastri, you got further than you last time. Yeah, cheers. Didn't take the start. It's been a while since I watched 2 F1 races from the sidelines. Oscar Piastri. Ocon retiring. No, he's not. They're breaking away something on the car. They're not retiring him. Ocon carries on. Served his penalty. Makes sense. Does it? She's just carried on. Gone on to fresh hards by the looks of it. Ollie Berman. As you can tell, I've seen it a few times. I'm loving his drive. Liam Lawson, P7. Shout out to him. I've always been a bit of a harsh critic on Liam Lawson, and unfairly so in some reasons. I think it's just because of that hate that he got the seat before Yuki Tsunoda, and I should just get over it. Get over it, F1 guy. Get us over it. Liam Lawson, credit where it is due. Isaac Hadjar, I've got to give him hats off as well, because what a recovery drive. He was spun it last, and he's back into P8. And we know that car isn't fast because, well, Max Verstappen was stuck behind Ollie Berman in P6, and Isaac Hadjar is 2.3 behind Liam Lawson, making a fight of it. So there will be an opportunity there. Who's your driver of the day, guys? Let me know your thoughts in comments. For me, it's got to be Kimi Antonelli. Did the job. Had the pressure of getting the start right. He's messed them up a few times. Twice. It's a bit hard chatting it. He's messed him up a few times. He's only done it twice. He's messed it up twice. Has Kimi Antonelli, but he put it right this time round. He got passed by the Ferrari of Lewis Hamilton. He kept Charles Leclerc back, and then made the most of that power rally doors. And then from there on, he's absolutely cruised this race. Gap now 9.3 seconds. Another second he's made up on his teammate, showing he's got everything under control. This young lad likes to flag victory of sorts. He had the 1 lap pressure of Lewis Hamilton, and that was it. Made short shift of that. There was no second attack from the Ferraris. Pass, repass. That all disappeared, guys. We've seen it in the sprint a little bit. We were talking about it in Australia. Is this Formula One lap or race 2? It's not happened, has it? Pass and repass. It's been pass and off you go. Fastest car can close up. You can follow. Great racing between Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc, and a lock-up for Charles Leclerc that let Lewis Hamilton through. And we've seen another little battle. It was one last attack by the looks of it from Charles Leclerc. Put everything he could into it, and then just dropped back now. And Charles Leclerc loses out on a podium to his teammate Lewis Hamilton, who currently looks 6 laps away from that. He'll just be hoping there's no gremlins on that car. Ollie Berman, 5th. I've said enough about him. Fantastic drive. Keeping Pierre Gasly back, although Pierre Gasly was a second faster than Ollie Berman on that last lap. And there is a 3-second gap. Have I spoken too soon on that? Come on, Ollie. Keep Gasly back. You can do it. They've got the same tyres, so it's not even like the tyre difference. That was just a very good lap from Pierre Gasly. Liam Lawson, P7. Isaac Hadjar, P8. He's 3 seconds to Liam Lawson is Isaac Hadjar. Carlos Sainz, P9. Franco Colapinto, P10. He's dropped off the pace. Lap 17, and he doesn't seem to have the tyres, Franco Colapinto. He's got himself into a top 10, but that's thanks to Max Verstappen's DNF. Nico Hülkenberg just outside of the points in the Audi in P11, the first of the losers, I'd like to say. Arvid Lindblad is flying. He pit super late. Had a bit of a scruffy race, so has Arvid. A bit of a spin, contact. He's down. I don't think he's got enough in him to get points from there. He's only had 14 laps. He's currently lapping a 36.2, Colapinto a 39.0. Well, that's 2.8 seconds. He's 2 seconds faster, or 1.8 seconds faster than Nick Hülkenberg ahead of him. 3 seconds faster than Sainz and Colapinto. 4 laps to go. He's got 4 seconds to close up on Hülkenberg and then 12 seconds on Colapinto. Not happening, is it? Lindblad looks like a P11. Best for him. Bit of a scruffy race. Not the best weekend out here in China, is it, for Arvid Lindblad? I thought he'd do better than he has done, but he's done a pretty solid job at that. Valtteri Bottas, 13th. Sergio Perez, 14th. Bringing it home. The car is getting to the finish. Ocon, 15th. DNF. Max Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, Lance Stroll, the 2 McLarens, Bortoleto and Albon, who all 4 of the last 4 just didn't even get to the grid. But it looks set now, doesn't it? Good lap from Lewis Hamilton. Another 6/10 on his teammate, Charles Leclerc. That's 3.7 now, the gap to his teammate, Lewis Hamilton. Looking comfortable, just doesn't need any DNFs for his first podium for Ferrari. Kimi Antonelli, just time's ticking away now, isn't it? It's just get around. Please, nobody do something stupid and cause a safety car or something right at the end to just give him that panic. Ferrari's race pace not quite there. Oh, a huge lockup from Charles Leclerc. He's been struggling on the brakes, and that's another flat spot on both fronts for Charles Leclerc. He's been struggling from the brakes, hasn't he? Especially down into that turn 14. He locked up, and that's what cost him the... Unless is he carrying some sort of issue with his brakes potentially, because it was a lockup that let Lewis Hamilton through. A horrible one at that. And it wasn't really under pressure from Lewis Hamilton as well. It was just a mistake from him. Three laps to go. What is so impressive with this Haas is they've beaten Red Bull. They've beaten Alpine in a Mercedes engine. We've got a brief yellow flag, but that disappeared pretty quickly, thankfully. So we won't see any. Oh, it's Antonelli. It's gone off wide. He had a massive lead. He lost 2 seconds. Seven seconds. Come on, Kimi. That was. Let's see what's happened to Kimi Antonelli, race leader. Oh, he got a lockup. Ooh, he won't be doing that again. He just doesn't need to push like that, does Kimi Antonelli, does he? I know he just went off on a run and did like fastest laps of the race. The calm voice of Pete Bono saying, "Come on, Kimi, 3 laps to go. Let's just keep this and bring this home." Exactly what he needed. Don't show you something superior or whatever, and you've got, look at me, I've cruised it, and like, relax yourself, bring it home for your first win, Kimi Antonelli. Don't do anything stupid, and he nearly did. He's picked it up though. The pace is now back. It was down to 7.4, and he's just made up. It's 8.1, 8.2. He's made up 8 tenths in his teammate. George Russell's struggling. He's had to battle through the Ferraris though, hasn't he, George Russell, on these fresher hards. We've got an inbox of the flag waiver. Nice gentleman in a suit. Nice side parting from him there. He pops up in. No idea who he is. Franco Colapinto is up into P10. Carlos Sainz, Colapinto fight for P9. Oh. 20 lap, 1 lap old mediums. Carlos Sainz on 44 lap old hards. Last lap from Charles Leclerc, the fastest first sector of anybody. A 25.0. Charles Leclerc just been pulling a bluff and is going to sneak attack on Lewis Hamilton in the last few laps. Sector 2, 29.0. And that wasn't too fast. That was a crazy one. You thought that was it. Kimi Antonelli on the final lap. And when he finishes, the race finishes for Carlos Sainz and Franco Colapinto because they are 1 lap down. And that might be the saving grace for Carlos Sainz. That they are both a lap down. That just finish when Antonelli finishes. Gap down to 7 seconds from George Russell and Antonelli. He's just eased off, hasn't he? We've got Kimi Antonelli, Marco Antonelli's dad in frame. Just needs to get him over the line, doesn't he? We've seen it before. I've seen it. Mick Hakkinen break down after a dominant Spanish Grand Prix in 98 or 99, I believe. And he was driving home to victory. And on the very last lap, the Mercedes power unit slowly started to give up. And Michael Schumacher came round and took the victory. And I cheered like it was the best thing ever. And we know how painful Formula One is. If you're a Hakkinen fan, you would be absolutely gutted. Kimi Antonelli, 1 straight to go. Oh, Lyle is pressing it. It's a bit of showboating out that final turn 14 core. Gives it. Oh, yes. Kimi Antonelli wins his Formula One Grand Prix, the first. He's giving a bit of a drift, giving you a bit of a scare coming out that final corner. Kimi Antonelli, the youngest or one of the youngest winners in Formula One. Absolutely brilliant celebrations. Lewis Hamilton coming home for his first podium in Ferrari. P3, Lewis Hamilton, he gets the better of Charles Leclerc. He'll be hoping one day that'll be top spot this season. Lewis Hamilton did what he needed to do. Charles Leclerc rocks home P4, 3 and a bit seconds back in the end. Ollie Berman coming now to cross the line. The flag is done. The race is over for Carlos Sainz and Franco Colapinto. They finished 9, 10, 11 for Nico Hülkenberg, 12 for Arvid Lindblad, 13th Valtteri Bottas. A few screams from Anthony down team radio. Berman finishes over the line. Gasly P6. P7 for Liam Lawson. P8 for Isaac Hadjar. Carlos Sainz quietly about his business today, and he's picked up points in that Williams. What a job. The two Cadillacs as well finished the race. They are just that one step ahead, aren't they, when it comes to race? Of the Class 3 are the Cadillacs because they've finished the race. Colapinto, how do you judge that race to get him back into P10? I think that was bad Alpine management. George Russell radio. Well done to Kimi. Let's hear a bit of Lewis radio. Lewis radio. Forza Ferrari from Lewis Hamilton. Controlled race from Lewis Hamilton, his engineer, saying you did what you needed to do. Kimi, thank you everyone. Thank you so much. You made me achieve one of my dreams. Thank you. As they go and stop on the grid rather than into the pit lane. I do like that. It's for the fans, isn't it? Line up 1, 2, and 3 on the start-finish line in the Audi, finished. And get the podiums right in front of the fans on track. I like that. I really like that. Kimi Antonelli, a dream come true for the young Italian kid. Decent race. Not a cracker. Not a load of overtaking. The overtaking or passing that we've seen at times was difficult, but really, really good wheel-to-wheel racing with the two Ferraris. George Russell as well. Antonelli had everything in the back today, though, didn't he? Just really, really controlled that race. Hats off to him. As he goes and celebrates with his team, the young Italian, the little boy hops over the barriers and into his team of engineers. A nice hug with his dad. They've done it. Toto Wolff will be very happy. The young boy is very mature. Yeah, I can't do a Toto voice. I won't bother trying. But what a win. Go on, Kimi. He gets his win. It's what we needed, I suppose. George Russell, race 1, win. Kimi Antonelli, race 2, win. Obviously, George got the sprint win, so he'll be ahead on points than Kimi by a point. There's no point for fastest lap because that would have gone to Kimi Antonelli and that might give him a rise. But Lewis, pretty happy. I love his yellow helmet. Lewis Hamilton on the podium. Get in, Lewis. Beats his teammate, Charles Leclerc. Very, very good racing between them two. I absolutely love Ferrari for that. There's not many teams on the grid that let them race like that. They do it wherever it is. They've seen them do it between Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc in the home Grand Prix in Monza, where the stakes are huge if they make mistakes. And Ferrari, if they do it, they would be in such backlash, but they just sort of say, guys, just go and race it out. And I absolutely love them for that. There's not many teams, even if you talk at McLaren and we let them race, and Mercedes, we let them race. There was always that little bit down, whereas Ferrari, like, it's truly let them race. You're in the shits if you hit each other, but they just say, go on and do it, kids. And I absolutely love that about them. There's that, I'm so glad Fred has brought that to the team. That is a Fred decision. It's on his shoulders, and he's got big shoulders to pull off stuff like that just to let him race. We've seen it between Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc. Today we've seen it with Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. And actually, for a good chunk of that race, at one point, once Charles Leclerc got that move, it looked like it would be Leclerc on the podium, but a mistake down into turn 14 from Charles Leclerc, lock up, and Lewis Hamilton snuck in and took the win. And they were really, really keeping each other honest in that race. Really, really good racing between the two of them. Hard, but fair. And I like the way that the students have kind of let them race. Kimi Antonelli now getting interviewed by DC. Thank you so much, says Kimi Antonelli. If you're watching, not watching, if you've got it in front of you. About to cry is Kimi Annie. Thank you to his team. A dream. He's turning up with young Kimi. You love this. Proper emotion. Italian emotion on show. First Italian to win for 20 years. It's not even just that, is it? Like, when you've 18 years of old, he's been racing for 10 years plus. He's put Italy back on top. Could we see him in a Ferrari? Italian in an Italian car winning races. You heard it here first, guys. You heard it here first. Not an easy start, he said. Covered the inside, too much on the inside. The two Mercedes went to the inside, and Ferrari said, we'll see you around the outside. And both Ferraris went round the outside, into first place was Lewis Hamilton, and Charles into third, nearly a 1-2. But Kimi did the job. They didn't get away. It was decisive, Kimi was. George, and congrats to Kimi. George, pleased to be on the podium with Lewis Hamilton. Another Mercedes 1-2. Welcome back to the podium from DC to Lewis Hamilton. He's there in his Ferrari red. A really enjoyable race for Lewis Hamilton. Most enjoyable he's had for a long time. Awesome battle with Charles Leclerc. Fair. Shout out to the crowd for Lewis. A lot of Lewis Hamilton fans wherever he goes, isn't he? A proper star, worldwide star, Lewis Hamilton. Bigging him up a bit much here, aren't I? Lewis fanboy. A little bit of touch, he said, with Leclerc. Just a kiss, he said it's okay. Charles Leclerc wouldn't give an inch. Lewis is really buzzing with this year's Ferrari. Whatever he's done over that break is really worked for him, hasn't it? He's come back and he's like really, really promising. Obviously helps when you've got a car that is just that to the Mercedes, who are going to be top dogs, and they probably expected to be 100 miles away. They're not. I mean, this race he's finished 25 seconds behind the Mercedes, so a bit of a bigger gap to what we saw last time out in Australia, because it was only 10 seconds or so there. So bigger gap from the Ferraris to the front, but they made a race of it. At least with one of the Mercedes, the Ferraris made a race of it. They made it difficult for George Russell after the safety car restart. And that's good to see. Good for F1. And as much as you might not like the qualifying, and it is the racing has been actually very good to watch. Yes, some of the passing is just power passing, but some of the racing has been very, very good on the brakes. They've had to get it done. You can tell they're doing it hard on the brakes because they're locking up and making mistakes. So they're on the very, very edge with the brakes. It's not like they're just easing past under the braking. They're getting there. And yeah, it's got better. And it's only race 2. We've not seen the repass that we saw in Australia for the race. We've not for what we've seen in early parts for the sprint. Antonelli got past Lewis Hamilton and he didn't give him a sniff of a repass. And he just shown his dominant. Toto radio message to Antonelli being played out. He's probably feeling a little bit relieved, is Toto, because he made that decision to put him into the car. Young lad. And he must feel the reprieve now to bring in a young driver. And he goes on in the second race and gets his first win. We thought George would, be really, really hard to beat. But race 2, Kimi Antonelli. And where will he go from here? Is this him mounting his claim that he will be a title contender? Very, very early doors to say. Mercedes will be disappointed. Obviously, they're going to miss out on 2 races while they've got this potentially dominant engine. I mean, not to say that their developments or whatever they're going to do is not going to work for them better going forward. Stefano coming in. Nice hug with Kimi and Bono. Bono knows the secrets of both of these guys here, doesn't he? All 3 of them, in fact. Of Kimi, Lewis, and George Russell. He's race engineered the new race winner and 7-time world champion is Pete Bono. I'd like to take a pick out of Brisbane of what he knows. Lewis praising the sofa. Driver press conference. Well, watch this. George Russell saying he struggled. Of course, why we just got going the cool down room. They only just got into the talking, but Kimi Antonelli saying he struggled really early doors and then struggled more than George Russell. And Russell was saying, actually, even I struggled. I lost 3 places. But then Hamilton stopped saying, yeah, well, look how quick you guys are. Look where you've ended up. 1 and 2 for Mercedes as they get ready for the podium celebrations. And I'll be getting ready to leave you with my final thoughts on the Grand Prix. Kimi Antonelli, your new race winner in Formula One, as Lewis Hamilton, gets his first podium as he's called upon to the podium. And we see this podium lit up red. I like this way they've new podium here with all the graphics in the screen at the back. He's shocked. Look at the face of Kimi Antonelli. He's called up. Yes, Antonelli's name and his picture in the background. You can barely see the drivers actually very well, but Kimi, top step of the podium. As I was gonna give my final thoughts. Da, 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 the Italian national anthem. Da, 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 da. Mm-hmm. 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 Na, 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 na. Na, na, na. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Synonymous hearing this for Ferrari victories, and it's nice we're hearing this for an Italian driver in a Mercedes. Mm. Do we still get the national anthem for the constructors? Because we'll get an Italian and German national anthem. That brings back some memories. Who remembers that? It is. Now, this is bringing back some memories. The Italian and German national anthem. Only a great Michael Schumacher, Ferrari and Germany. Wow, I never thought about this. Well, this goes down memory lane. Let's just soak this in. I've just absolutely loved that. The Italian and German national anthems bring back some memory of an absolute great in Michael Schumacher and Ferrari. We've had that weekend, and that used to bring joys as a little kid. Oh, is Kimi my new favourite driver now after that? Just realised that we'll get the Italian and German national anthem when he wins. And does that bring back some nostalgia and love for F1? I mean, we've not seen it in a long time. Final thoughts as they go through and about to get in the trophy celebrations, handing out the trophies to the top 3 guys, and they'll spray water on each other, hopefully. Don't drink and drive, guys. Not good for you. Kimi Antonelli with his first win for Mercedes, race 2, where he's got a dominant car, and we were all looking at George Russell after an impressive sprint, but he's come back, bounced back in qualifying when it counted. George Russell got himself on pole position. He managed to get himself a decent enough start at the start of the race. He dropped behind one Ferrari, managed to keep the second Ferrari of Charles Leclerc behind, and then actually made short work of Lewis Hamilton when he got the pass. He got the pass. There was no attempt of a repass from Ferraris. He wasn't giving them a sniff, and off he drove. A completely controlled race. Had George Russell in his pocket, managed the safety car restart well, didn't really have the pressure in behind him. George Russell dropped back a couple of places behind the 2 Ferraris, and then we got an absolutely cracking battle with the 2 Ferraris of Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. George Russell, we've seen get the move on Lewis Hamilton. Well, we've seen Charles Leclerc get past Lewis Hamilton. George Russell eventually got past Lewis Hamilton, and then George passed Charles Leclerc for his P2, and then a mistake from Charles Leclerc gave Lewis Hamilton a sniff and gave him his first podium for Ferrari, and that was a story of the top 3. What a race from there onwards, and I've just lost the finishing positions. Here we are. 4th place, Charles Leclerc. Disappointed, probably he's been beaten by his teammate, especially when he had it in his back, and a mistake from him meant that Lewis Hamilton got the repass. Ollie Berman in 5th place. 6th place for Pierre Gasly. Really, really brilliant drive from Ollie Berman. Pierre Gasly as well with a P6. Liam Lawson brings it home with a P7. Isaac Hadjar, P8. Carlos Sainz in that dog of a Williams brings home some points with a P9. He can be very, very happy with that. Franco Colapinto, P10. He was right behind his teammate in Pierre Gasly, P7, and they didn't pit him under the safety car, and that ultimately has cost him decent points. So a bit of a kick in the teeth, although he's picked up points. He should have been a lot closer to Pierre Gasly. He was in that race, and just disappointed. Nico Hulkenberg, first of the losers, and say out of the points, P11. Arvid Lindblad, a difficult race for him in P12, and Valtteri Bottas, P13, brings home a double Cadillac finish, which is more than they can say for most drivers today. Ocon splits them with 14th, and Perez 15th finish. We got a DNF for Max Verstappen, some sort of electrical issue. The 2 Aston Martins slowly went. Fernando Alonso stopped when he just couldn't feel his hands. I mean, it's just dangerous, that, Fernando. Just look after yourself at this age of life. Lance Stroll, P18, again stopped. The 2 McLarens didn't even get to start the race. Bortoleto didn't start the race, and neither did Alex Albon. And that is the final finishes, and well, a new race winner, Kimi Antonelli. He'll take that with a massive boost of confidence as they head into Japan in a couple of races, and he'll be disappointed actually that Mercedes lose 2 races in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia early doors, where they won't be able to get the most of it. But Fred congratulating Toto at the end. But there we have it, a fantastic race victory for Kimi Antonelli to take his first win. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. As always, see you on the next one.